guys. After many different tries, different angles, different attempts at filming this, I think I finally got it down. Today I created for you this look with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I think it's very pretty, very smoky, very sexy, and I really enjoy this. I've worn it several times. Anyways, if you'd like to see how I got this look, keep watching. Okay, so I have put burnt orange and raw sienna on the crease with a large fluffy brush from ABH Cosmetics. That's just my transition. Then I go in with the Coastal Scents BR 250 and I just tap on one side of the brush because I want this color to be concentrated on the top part of my crease and not down onto my lid. So I keep it on the top part. I make sure that the part with the product is facing upward, and I go directly into my crease. And I should have tapped my brush off just now because I got a little bit of fallout there. I usually don't have that problem with this palette, and then once I get it on, I go back and go in circular motions and blend that out. That just really gets that warmth down real tight in there. Probably just did that with the fallout because I put it in the product about 3 times trying to show you what I was doing. But got a little waste basket here that I'm going to tap off into this time. Same thing on this side. I'm going to go right into the crease, keeping the product at the top part of the brush and kind of lifting my brush up. So it's going right down in there and then turn sideways and kind of blend it upward. So we got it real tight into the crease here. Gonna do that one more time just to get a little bit more color here on the outside corner. And once I have that laid down, I'm gonna go back in with my beginning brush and just really blow that out with lots of circular motions. So that's a really good foundation of some warmth there. And there we go. So next is basically I just kind of go in back and forth with Love Letter and blending. Love Letter and blending. And Love Letter is this really pretty color right here. And as red as it looks, whenever it gets onto the eye, it's more of a kind of a maroon color, and I really love it. When I first got this palette, I didn't think I would ever use these reds, but I use them a lot. So this is Love Letter. I'm going to use it on a Delium Tools 776. Got this in a boxy charm, and I love this brush because it's real tight and dense. So I start off with it right on the tip. And I start off really lightly, really slow, because this can get out of control really quickly. So first I go right on the outer corner and pull up into the crease. And I just keep going back and forth like that in circular motions. Just kind of starting very slowly. This is a color that I like to build up. Back in with the brush. Down on the outer corner on the lid and then up into the crease. Just all the while doing circular motions. Because this brush is kind of depositing color and blending it out at the same time. And then I'm going to take what's left on the brush and pull it over into the crease. And sometimes I'll go sideways just to really get that in there. Really gives a pretty red warmth and some depth into the crease. Really makes it look smoky. All right, I'm going to do the same thing on this eye. There's some kind of crazy light on my face. It's gonna make me unhappy because I've tried to film this like 14 times. So I guess you guys are just gonna have to deal with that crazy light in my face. Maybe I'll move over a tad. See if that helps. I've been wanting to get this filmed and edited so that I would definitely have a video up this week. And I will. But I have a couple of other things that I'd like to do. My niece Callie is in town, and so today Callie and my mom and I are going to go see the movie Baby Driver? Something like that. Anyway, it's got the cutesy guy from Fault in Our Stars in it, and I just really like him as an actor, so looks like it's going to be funny. So again, just really concentrated the color Love Letter on this outer corner and just circular motions to blend it in, and then I pulled it over into the crease. Maybe one more time in with this one, and I think I've got the amount of color deposited that I want there. Bless you. My husband's sneezing in the other room. Then I go back with the burnt orange brush. I kind of just keep going back in order when I blend. I use the previous brush to blend out the next one, and the previous brush to blend out all of it. So I just blend after every step. And I was doing makeup for my niece's wedding. I told everybody that these kind of eye looks look really scary at first, and it looks like it's not going to come together, but it always does come together. It looks kind of crazy until it all gets done. So I'm going to go in and go ahead and start on my lower lash line. This is a E36 by Morphe. Just a quick talk about Morphe. I'm so excited. I got my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I wanted to use it so badly today, but I'm like, I'm going to get this Anastasia Beverly Hills Smoky Eye video filmed, then I can go on playing with that one. But today, we're going to do this. I'm going to go in with that burnt orange and just go ahead and get like a foundation of eyeshadow started down here. And I generally do what most people do. I kind of put the same colors on my bottom lid that I do on my top, usually in about the same order. So I'm going in with burnt orange, and I'm kind of pulling it down a little bit, because as I bring in the other colors, I go tighter and tighter to the lash line. That guy needs a little bit more. So I got a simple human mirror. It was partly bought from my mom for my birthday, and I covered the rest of it. I really like it, and I haven't really had a chance to use it because once I turn it on when I'm filming, it completely blanks my face out where you can't see what I'm doing. So I may turn it on here and there to see how the color's looking. Now I'm going to go, I went all the way across the lower lash line with that. Now I'm going to go in with Love Letter, and I'm just going to go a little bit tighter, but I'm also going to go closer to the lash line. I couldn't love this combination of burnt orange and Love Letter anymore. It's so warm and sunsetty. I make up my own word, sunsetty. But anyways, I love that color. I'm going to end up with Cypress Umber. That's going to be my last color to deepen up the outer corner. So I'm going to go ahead and put that real tightly on about the, oh goodness, I put too much. Way too much. Anyway, there we go, it's there. On the outer half of my lower lash line. And since that got so crazy, I'm going to go back with burnt orange and just kind of go underneath that and chill it out a little. For me, makeup is really about trial and error, and I've done this same look about 14 times, and each time it's a little bit different, but each time I like it. So I'm going to go back in there with that love letter, look up and blend it out some. Alright, so it looks really dramatic on the bottom lash line and not so dramatic on the top. So now I'm going to go in with a Coastal Scents BRC N09. And I love this brush because it's flat and tapered and pointed. And so it's perfect. I just tap on one side of it and then I use it right here on my very outer V of my lid first. Puts darkness in there, and then I tap into the product again and I go up into the crease. And I leave this really on the very outer edge. I don't go in with it much. And I've explained this before, but it's because I have pretty hooded lids, and one more than the other. If I go in too far with a really dark color, it really closes off my eye. And I'm trying to open up my eye. So I keep the darkness, the really dark depth colors on the very outer V. So I just basically putting the color down right now, and then I'll go in with a clean blending brush to blend it out. And usually I'll go in once or twice and blend in between. So I feel like I've got the color deposited on both sides there. I think I'll go in with the brush that I use for Love Letter and blend that out. And I'm actually kind of happy already with the amount of color I have there. But I feel like the Love Letter has gotten faded out. And you'll find that in blending, that you'll lose some of the color and have to kind of go back in and re-intensify that. So I'm going to go back into Love Letter, particularly on this side for some reason, and go on the outside of that Cypress Umber and just get that red showing back through, because it's just too pretty to let it hide under there. I can't believe that I love these colors so much, because when I saw this advertised and swatched, I was like, not for me. I don't do red eyeshadow. But these are beautiful. Alright, so I feel like I have pretty dramatic, pretty smoky. For me anyway. I'm going around the outside with this burnt orange too. Pretty dramatic stuff going on there. And so once I get to this point, I go in with a really fluffy, clean, completely clean, no product. This is a ABH Cosmetics 103. And I just go in and go to town with the blending. Make sure everything is nice and blown out and smooth. And that's when it's time for me to do my brow bone and my inner corner, which I always like to put a shimmer there. I'm going to go in with Tempera, I never know how to say that, Tempera. Anyway, with this ABH Cosmetics little angled brush. It doesn't have a number. And I just go right under my eyebrow. And since I'm using a matte color, I go all the way across. When I add the little bit of shimmer that I'll put there later, I'll put it in a very specific place. Blend that out. And then I'm going to go in with this tiny little detailer brush. It is a BRC 501 from Coastal Scents. And I'm going to go into the color Vermeer, which is right there. That's going to be my inner corner highlight. It's beautiful and very, very frosty. And it's not necessarily lighter than the one that I'm going to put on my lid, but it is a different, it has a like a lavender undertone. It's really pretty. The one that I'm going to use on my lid is called Primavera. It's right there. And I always first go in with my ring finger, and you'll notice when I do anything around my eyes, I use my ring finger. And that's because I was told or taught a long time ago from a Mary Kay person, actually, that that's your weakest finger. And so whenever you're using it to do anything around your eyes, you should use that finger, your weakest finger, so that you don't. So you're putting the least amount of pressure, you're not tugging on your eye. Okay, so I'm using this to put on the shimmer because obviously, for some reason, pigmentation on a shimmer just shows up so much better when you apply it with your finger. Then I go back through with a brush and just make sure it's very smooth. And I'm only pulling about 2/3 of the way in. I don't want to go over what I just got through creating on my outer V. But you'll also notice that I go above my crease right here on the inner corner. And the reason I do that is because since my eyes are hooded there, it kind of opens that up a little bit for me. I'm not a fan of wetting my brush just because I don't have much experience with it. So I think I need to do some more practicing with that. But I'm satisfied with that amount of shimmer anyway. So I'm going to go in with the one that I have Love Letter on, and I'm just going to very softly blend right on that line where those meet. And that is my eye look there so far. I go in with the very first brush and make sure that I don't have it too far outside of the line. I'm going to go in with Primavera on that little detailer brush that we used. Arch of my eyebrows, just the tiniest bit, just to really highlight that area, but not get too happy with the shimmer. Okay, so at this point, I am going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes. I like to do that before I do any eyeliner because somehow when I don't, it gets all messed up. So I always do this first. I have very sparse lashes, very straight out lashes, and curling them and using mascara is adequate, but I really love the way my eyes look when I have on false lashes. And so if I have time, I'm going to do that today. I'm using my Tarte eyelash curler. I love these. They're so pretty. I have the pearly one. I got the one last year, but I haven't opened it because this one is still holding strong. So I didn't want to really open a new one when the one I've got is doing great. Alright, I start off right down at the root as close as I can get without pinching my skin, and just pump it a couple times, and then I move out and move out and move out, and that really just directs them upwards. And so there we have it. That's about as curled as they're gonna get. I like to do that though. It's like sometimes every once in a while I'll forget to do that, and oh, it just looks so much different. Liquid eyeliner. I'm gonna use the Physicians Formula Eye Booster pen. I opened a new one. I have been using Kat Von D for the longest, but I opened this to use on people at the wedding, and I used it on myself. And I was like, oh yeah, I love this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my wings. That stupid light is still shining on my face. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna move my tripod, move my body out of the light, even though I like to be in the light. But anyway, I'm babbling. I'm gonna go ahead and do my liner. I start off pulling from the edge of my eye outward to make the initial wing. Then I kind of hold my eye top, go into the inner corner, and pull all the way across. And then I start about 2/3 of the way down, which that line is kind of janky. And then I swoop down to avoid the hooded area of my eye and meet up with the line. So basically there's an outline of my wing. Then I go back in, go away eyelash, fill in the area that's not black. I can see that my inner corner is smearing, smudging. Really don't know how to avoid that because my eyes water down there. And I'm making my wing pretty thick today because I'm going to be putting on false eyelashes. And if you have falsies on, you really can't even see your wing unless it's a little bit significant. So there we have that eye. I'll close the lid, and if you'll notice when you push in, there's like a little bit of a resistance. It pulls the product down, and so in between eyes I always close it up and open it again. Make my initial wing, go into my inner corner and pull across. And then 2/3 of the way down, meet up with my line. Then fill in the blanks. Thickening that up a little bit for the false lashes to have a place to land. Alright, there's wing number 2. I usually look over here and make sure they're at least slightly similar. Add a little if I need to. And there we have it. After this, I go in with my mascara. I'm going to use Rimmel Lash Accelerator. I always use that on my bottom lashes. Alrighty. And I noticed here that I got a pretty significant smudge down in my inner corner. So when that happens, I usually go in with the Q-tip and wipe it out. And all that really does is mess up my inner corner highlight. So I go back in with the brush that I used to do that with and reapply it a little bit. All right, lash time. Somehow in my packing and unpacking of my kit, oops, I have to do my upper lashes. But somewhere in the packing and unpacking of my kit, I lost my eye glue. I've had a heck of a time keeping track of it. But anyways, I usually use the Kiss Lash Glue. I bought it one time because I couldn't find anything else. And it ends up, it's been the best one. I'm using Better Than Sex by Too Faced on my upper lids. Or upper lashes. Anyway, I can't find it. It's somewhere around here. So I'm going to use my Duo. And basically just putting some black on my lashes so that there's not a distinct color difference between the lashes and my lashes and the false lashes. I like this one for that because it really fans them out. It tends to get a little clumpy on its own. I don't really like to use it by itself. I like to use it in combination with roller lash. Anyways, the lashes I am using are the Christina Demi Wispies. I get these on Amazon. You get like a 6-pack for I think like $11 or $12. I've used these before, so excuse me, it makes it a lot easier to put them on. My favorite tools for putting on lashes are just a regular tweezer to put them on, and then I have a little eyelash tool that I like because it's curved here. I can go in and pinch them together. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I guess my favorite tips for eyelashes are, number one, make sure they fit your eye. Trim them from the outside if needed. You don't want too much. If you have too much, it gets in your inner corner, gets itchy and irritating. So I just grab them in the middle with the tweezers, and that's when I put the glue on. That is one thing I like about Duo is it starts off white, but it turns blue to show you that it's gotten tacky. But that's probably my number one tip on eyelashes is make sure you allow the lash glue to get tacky before you place it on your eye, because it's just going to slip and slide and not allow you to have any kind of connection for a while. So I'm going to do that. While I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and set my face here. With Urban Decay All Nighter. Actually, I'm using De-Slick, which is the mattifying one. This Duo glue is a little bit old, so hopefully it'll still work. I might have put too much on there. Wish I knew where that light was coming from. Maybe my back window. I'm making adjustments as I go. You know, I'm a novice at this filming thing. All right, here we go. So I look into the mirror. I place it directly where I think it's going to be centered best. I lay it right down at the root and let go. Then I pull the outer corner where I want it and set it down. And then I put the inner corner where I want it and set it down. I got a little happy with the glue there. I'm going to take a little bit off of it, but it will dry clear. Any parts that it don't dry, you can just cover it with some liquid liner. I'll go ahead and do the second eye. And the cool part about any lashes is if you take good care of them and put them back on, I like to put them back on the container they came out of. It'll keep that shape, and if you've worn them before, it's already been kind of shaped to your eye. So easy to pop them right back on whenever you put them on for a second, third, fourth time. These are pretty cheap lashes, so after I've worn them probably 3 or 4 times, the band starts to get a little wonky. But I think they're beautiful. I love that the lash band is so little and not dark and not thick, and really dramatic lashes have to have that band. I'm playing tag with the stupid light. But anyway, they have to have that really thick band in order to hold on to all of the thick, dense lashes. So I really prefer these for an everyday kind of thing. And these are, I don't know, they still add some drama to the look, I think. All right, I'm not as good with my second eye here. I always feel like I can't get it the right angle. But same thing. Bring them into the center. Stick them down and let go. Bring your side over and place it. Bring your inside over. And place it. That one didn't stay. Hang on. There we go. And I just make sure that they're where I want them. Sometimes I push them up. While that one dries, I go in with these and I make sure the curved area is toward my eye, and I just go through and squeeze together the false lash and the natural lash. I don't do this until it's had a little bit of time to dry. So while those are finishing drying, I'm going to go ahead and put on my lippy. I'm going to use the Rimmel Exaggerate in Enchantment for the liner. And I'm going to use Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in Dream Huge. So I just put a nice outline there. And I love the applicators on these. It's like a point, but the product kind of settles in that little well. And I kind of go backwards of what probably most people do, but I go across the bottom bottom lip, and then I go through with the tip and make sure I have it everywhere. I'm a big fan of liquid lipsticks. I'm not so much a fan of what they do to my lips, which is dry them out. This is a really good formula. one of my favorites. I also really like Bare Minerals and Dose of Colors. Pretty color, I love it. Kind of a pinky nude. Alright, now my eyelash is dry enough for me to go in and pinch. Obviously, be really careful when you have a metal tool around your eyeball. I have trouble doing the inner corner because it's just too close and I will stab myself in the eye. All right, so very quickly I go look and make sure that there aren't any white spots. If there are, there's a few, just little bitties. Go through and cover with some liquid liner. Most people tight line whenever they use false lashes. My eyes are just so watery that when I tight line, I end up with black all in the lower waterline, and that's okay. And that looks really smoky and pretty whenever you want it to look that way. But for every day, like go to the movies with my mom, I don't really need to get that dramatic. But so just very quickly to show you, let me move that, show you the finished eye look. Very smoky, very pretty. One of my favorites. I've worn this many times when I want to go somewhere and I want to do something that I know looks nice and that I know how to do with my eyes closed. No pun intended. I choose this because it just makes it easy on me, and it's really pretty and really dramatic, but also easy for me to do. So I hope you enjoyed it.